Hiya, welcome to this tutorial series. Make an apple, part 4. This is done in Blender 2.8. Thank you for supporting me. On to the tutorial. Welcome to tutorial 4. In this tutorial we'll be continuing with the creation of this knife. Alright, let's get to the tutorial. I'll just delete the knife and we'll start it again. Hide the apple, hide the plate, hide the apple and hide the table. Alt H. Remember, Alt H unhides everything, and H hides everything. And this time we're going to load as reference image as before. This is the actual texture ping that we used in the first tutorial, the link below. First of all, I'm going to move the actual knife to the center of the image, and then I'm going to add a cube. This is done by going into the add menu, going to mesh, going to cube. I'm going to scale this down. Full stop actually on your keypad gets you to the place you want to be quicker. I'll just move this up. I'm just going to scale this in the Z direction, S, then Z, and scale it down. What we're going to do with this time is we're going to go into edit mode, and we're going to extrude this out to make the handle, extrude it out to make the blade, and then subdivide it to make the knife itself. So I'm going to onto edge select in the corner up here. Select the edge. Look from the top by pressing the 7 key, then G to move the edge. And basically what we're going to do is keep changing this until it resembles the knife. Onto the top, G and Y, which is up and down when looking from above, and S to scale the edge, G to move it, and I'm just going to grab that edge there, use the edge key, and G in the X direction, and there we have it. Select the edge. Now I'm just going to follow this down. So E to extrude, Y in the Y direction, and scale, G in the to move, X. I'm just going to scale that up slightly, scale, and E, scale, G in the X direction, then E, take it down, G, Y, G, X, and scale it, and we're just making the shape of the knife. E in the Y direction, scale it down slightly, and G in the X direction to match it up, and scale, and E in the Y direction, and scale, GX. E one more time. And G to move it over. Fat. Move it up slightly. And we're going to scale in the X direction. And E. Rotate it, but this time in the Z direction. And we're just going to make the shape of the knife. There you have it. Then we're just going to do the same on the front. E. Scale. Sorry. Scale in the X direction. Z, undo that again, we'll start again. E in the Y direction and scale in the X. G, X, E in the Y direction. Z, undo again. Scale in the X direction. G to move it. Scale it in the X direction. Sometimes it's quite hard to do this. G, X, we're just moving it. The reason that we only scale it in the X direction is if you scaled it, you'd end up with ripples on your actual knife. So we don't want that because it's quite smooth. So E in the Y direction. G to move. E again. Scale it. S in the X direction, which is left to right. G. Scale a bit more. G. And then let's get a bit closer. E in the Y direction. And then scale this right down to get the shape of the knife. See, by just scaling it then in all directions, that's made it into a point. So now what I'm going to do is get that edge, hold the shift key down, and click with the left mouse button, get that edge. Oh, sorry, first I'm going to subdivide and just put a line. G, that was Control R that did that. GG to move it inside itself. Now I'm going to actually select this edge, because obviously on a knife it's sharp. So I'm just going to grab that, scale it in the Z direction, then it gets thinner and thinner until you get like a knife edge. Now we've got the basic shape of the knife. The only thing is we haven't got an handle yet. Select that edge. I'm going to have to do these one at a time, because what I'm doing is I'm doing it slightly wrong. So E, Z, and lift it up, and then do it by the same amount in the other direction. This doesn't have to be exact, because you can make it exact by typing in an amount, but there really is no need. So if you look from the side, you can E in the Z direction, and I can just judge it. Right, and I'm just going to actually put a loop cut just there. GG. And I'm going to put a loop cut at the base of the handle just there. GG. Right, Now what I'm going to do is actually subdivide it once. Add modifier, subdivision surface, and apply it once. Oops. I'm only doing this by one and apply. Sorry. Back out of edit mode, then apply it. And as you can see, we've got the rough shape of it. Quite a convincing knife. I'm just going to put smooth shader on. So now all we have to do is add the texture as normal. So I'm going to the 7 key. This time, what I'm going to do is we've already got the texture that we loaded from tutorial 1. But I'm going to duplicate it. By hitting the plus key. Oops, sorry. Hitting the plus key here. Now I've got a second material. The second material I'm going to call metal. E-T-A-L. Because obviously it's going to be a lot shinier than the other ones. Hit the use node keys, go to the base colour, the dot at the side of the base colour. Sorry, use node. The dot at the side of the base colour. Add image texture. Select the open image icon. I'm just going to add the texture again. Right, I'm now going to UV unwrap this knife, so I'm going to press the tab key to go into edit mode, the A key to select all, and U and unwrap from view. We are looking from the actual top of the knife. So once again, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the UV editor, select from the top by pressing 7, go into edit mode, A to select all, and then click on the left window and then press A again, G to move the actual knife lattice over the actual knife texture, scale it down, G to move, and I'm just going to scale it up until it fits. G. Scale this slightly in the X direction, so I don't want it to be too thick and spoil the actual image. And that, I think, is about that. Just click the little circle up here, follow my mouse. And we've got an image of the knife. I'm just going to hack back into edit mode. And then again, there's something a bit wrong with this. Again, now I think it looks quite good. That slightly different from the picture on there, but I think that looks quite good because it makes it look like it's got a little silver thing round it. Right, and the next thing I'm going to do is go back into the material, which is metal for this one. And what I'm going to do is on the metal tab down here, I'm going to increase this to give it some shine. And then I'm going to take the roughness down to make it more shiny. The less roughness, the shinier the object becomes. At the minute it looks a bit like a ceramic knife. All I'm going to do now is go back into the modelling mode, select the knife, scale the knife up And then I'm going to delete the reference image. Delete. Sorry, and the other reference image. X, delete. And as you can see, we've now got an apple with a knife going through it. Move the knife to one side. G and Z to move it down. And just rest it on top of the plate, like so. That concludes tutorial 4, creating the knife. What we'll do is work more on the textures in the very last tutorial. But on the next tutorial, tutorial 5, we will be making the segments. Thank you for joining me on these tutorials, and if you like them, please subscribe. Bye for now.